welcome to today's episode of Uncut Insights of a Modern Day Entrepreneur. This is Don Martin, and I'm excited to share with you today a topic that I've come to really grow fond of, and that is from an entrepreneur standpoint, from a business person standpoint, looking to partner up with and work with and collaborate with people in the entrepreneurial world who are former athletes. I come to, and one of the most powerful things that I've noticed is that a lot of former athletes, particularly successful former athletes, they get used to winning. And when they get used to winning, they don't like to lose. And a lot of you know my story, but I was a successful baseball player. I excelled through high school, through college, a little bit of pro ball. And the number one thing for me is, man, I hated to lose. I was extremely competitive, and that has continued on into my business life. And I think it's one of the key things that has helped me really become successful as an entrepreneur in the business world, because of the competitiveness that I gained during my athletic kind of background. So I'm going to talk about a couple things that I've realized about athletes and why athletes, former athletes, or even existing. I still play, by the way. But former athletes can be great in your organization. Whether you build an organization with your company or any type of organization that you would build. I love athletes. I really love them because they have a bunch of key things that they latch on to that people love. So here's some of them. Number one, prior successful athletes have a massive will to win. I mean, think about that. When you're a successful athlete and you win, you get a taste for it. It's something that you never forget, and you just need to win. In fact, it almost becomes like a physiological necessity to continue to win, or at least strive to win. So former athletes have a will to win, and it takes a big will to win to be successful as an entrepreneur. Another thing that happens with successful athletes that I've noticed, and I'm included, is when they were athletes, when they were chasing that profession to be a professional athlete, a lot of them have what I call unfinished business. They've had themselves in a position where they were on their way to greatness, and they maybe had an injury like I did that caused them to not be able to compete at the level they once did, which means they weren't able to make it and effectively finish their goals. So they have unfinished business. They may have made it, but they have to keep on striving to be the best in anything that they do because they became the best once before. So that's another thing. To have unfinished business. They are competitors, y'all. I mean, former athletes are competitors. It's almost like, I know a lot of people used to tell me my competitiveness was unhealthy, and I'm so glad I didn't listen to them, because I think being extremely competitive is one thing that you can't teach. It has to be it has to be something that comes from within, from prior experiences, and you just can't teach people to be competitiveness. To be competitive, they just have to, gain it through their experience and their successes and their failures to make them that way. So they're competitors. Another thing about prior successful athletes is, a lot of times the will to win is great, but they hate to lose. And when somebody hates to lose, they'll never quit. They're not quitters. And the one thing I will tell you is that the majority of people that I see that start in business and they don't make it long term is because they quit before they finish. I will tell you that's 90% of the people that I see that fail. It's not because their idea wasn't good. It's not because the endeavor that they were working on, or the program they were participating with, or the company that they were with wasn't good. It was that they quit before they finished. They gave up too soon. And athletes, they hate to lose, and they will not quit. They have to be forced out of the game, and that's how that happens. They hate to lose. Another thing that I've noticed about athletes, and this you'll come to find this true, is that most athletes, especially the ones that came from team sports, they know how to work with people and create a culture, a community, a team environment. It's so important when you're building an organization of people to have something that's more deeply rooted than just business. It has to go further than that. It has to be a culture that people are proud to be a part of, that them against the world sometimes. And that type of culture is so powerful. And with that culture comes hard work, commitment, dedication, and the stamina And by the way, loyalty comes with that. When you talk about that, being loyal is so key, and so many athletes are radically loyal. So that's a couple other things. They also have an unfathomable amount of desire. I will tell you right now, another thing about successful people is desire is everything, man. When they have a desire and they have a dream and they have a goal, they have so much desire that nothing can stop them, and they just keep on going because that desire is so deeply ingrained in them from their experiences as an athlete, and it goes takes them so far in their future, business life because of that desire. And the last thing, and there's so much more, everybody. This is just some of the things that kind of noted down here in my notes. But the last thing is they have a massive work ethic. See, you don't become a successful athlete where you thrive and you excel beyond other people in the same sport or the same competitive field if you don't have a massive work ethic, because the only way to make it really, really big is to outwork everybody else. That's how you become huge. It's outworking everybody else and going above and beyond, and that massive work ethic doesn't get lost after athletes finish their career. They continues to their next program. So what I'm going to encourage you all to do is if you're in business right now and you're expanding, you're looking to bring on partners, you're looking to bring on people in your organization at any level, I really encourage you, as part of your interview process and your evaluation process, to look for people who are prior athletes, especially ones who are successful, because they're going to come with a lot of these traits that you just can't teach, or they might be able to be learned. Some of them might be able to learn over time, but to me, man, if they can come with them to the table, that is a massive advantage. I don't look for degree. When I'm looking for people to bring into my organization, I don't look for degrees. I don't look for education. I look for prior experience, particularly as athletes. Two other things to throw out there. I also look for the people that when they were the kids, they were the leaders or the rebels. So prior athletes, leaders, and rebels. They're the other two because guess what? Leaders and rebels don't care what anybody else thinks. And a lot of times as an entrepreneur, you're going to have a lot of haters and you have to just keep on going. So that's what it's all about. So look for those athletes. Look for those successful athletes to partner with. Look for those leaders and rebels from they were a kid, and you will be pleasantly surprised when you lock on and start building organizations with those type of people, because, man, you can't stop a team of people, an organization of people that has competitiveness and work ethic and desire and that will to win that prior athletes have. Man, it's so much fun. So thank you for your time today. Look forward to see you guys again. Feel free to share this, and we'll see you guys soon.